Hey screen printers! Water-based ink is becoming more and more popular today because of the consumer demand for an eco-friendly, soft hand and fashion feel ink. Well, have you ever wondered why they don't make a water-based ink that you don't have to use a Pantone book for, get a gram scale out, and make a custom color every single time you need to do a job? Why can't they just make a lemon yellow or a scarlet red or a light blue or a lime green or a pink that you can just take out of the container, scoop onto the screen, and print the job that you need to do right then and there? With Ryonet's R2O water-based ink, we've co-developed the first professional-grade, ready-for-use water-based ink that comes in a spot color system. The 13 colors that we formulated the R2O inks off of are the exact colors that Ryonet uses for our Ryopaque series of plastisol inks. These 13 initial colors come in orange, bright blue, lime green, pink, lemon yellow, purple, royal blue, red, teal, scarlet red, Kelly green, golden yellow, black, and of course opaque white. Ryonet selected these colors because they're the most popular colors used in screen printing today. Let's get on press and see how they print. Ryonet's R2O water-based inks are a bit different and make it extremely easy to use for a screen printer. These inks are ready for use right out of the container, so a color like this, bright blue, is ready to go. Now of course you can always mix these inks together because they are completely compatible to make different colors, but you don't have to use a Pantone formula or a scale. The R2O also has slightly more opacity than most water-based inks. As you can see, though it is a little bit runny, it does have a lot of body. That body gives it the ability to hold up in the screen without drying during production. So this ink will actually last a lot longer on screen than your traditional runny water-based ink. Now the screen mesh that you use can typically range from 156 to 305. We also recommend using a water-resistant emulsion or using a post-hardener like Harden X to harden your emulsion. Let's get on press and see how this prints. You always want to load a little bit more water-based ink on the screen in comparison to plastisol because you want to make sure the screen stays flooded during use so it doesn't dry out. Next you want to flood your screen up. We're printing through a 305 mesh screen, so this is going to be a nice soft hand and feel when we're done printing it. So we've flooded the screen, and that is a nice flood that stays up above the screen mesh, and we're not printing it until we actually pull the squeegee. So now let's pull the squeegee. We'll give this 2 passes as we start printing. If we were going into production, we probably would only have to pass it once. Once we're done printing, we lift the screen up slightly and then flood back. The result is a vibrant water-based ink that has an extremely soft hand and feel and looks great on the shirt. R2O water-based ink cures at 320 degrees. Now water-based ink cures a little bit differently than plastisol ink. Because it's got water in it as the binder carrier, the water needs to be driven out through airflow in order for the ink to actually cure at that temperature. So the optimal curing source is an airflow flash and or airflow convection conveyor dryer. You can use an IR flash or an IR dryer, it's just going to take a lot longer. So for instance, you always want to break off your water-based ink print if you're using a flash dryer. Obviously if you're putting it on a conveyor dryer, you're just going to pull it off and put it on the conveyor belt. This is a standard IR flash. We're probably going to need to let this dwell for 2.5 to 3 minutes in order for the ink to cure correctly. Our flash isn't too close to the shirt, and you'll be able to start to see the ink steam as the water evaporates during the curing process. Once the ink has reached 320 degrees or above, we're good to go. Once cured, R2O has a nice soft hand and feel, so it's great for fashion apparel. You can also use R2O for coaster or cardstock printing as long as you're printing on uncoated paper. It even prints on uncoated wood. Right here we have an uncoated piece of paper that we're actually doing a poster print with. So we'll jig up the paper, make sure it's in register. We're going to be using the Kelly-based, ready-for-use R2O ink. For this poster print, we're making sure that we have proper off contact because the poster paper does not absorb ink the way t-shirt would. Also, we're using a 305 mesh screen because we have halftones and detail in this print. We'll start off by loading the screen with ink and then flooding it and make sure we have a consistent coat of ink over the screen. Next we'll complete the print and just one nice solid pass and pressure allowing the screen to release from the paper. Vacuum platens work best for poster printing. Then we'll flood the screen back, making sure there's plenty of ink on top of the layer. Probably need a little bit more ink right here. Should look like this. This is getting a little bit thin. Right there could eventually dry out. So we'll just come over it one more time. There we go. The result is a nice, vibrant, water-based poster print. You can see the nice halftones and detail that this ink was able to hold on this poster paper. Poster paper or wood just needs to dry to the touch. You can use a conveyor dryer at a lower temperature or a flash dryer to do this, and sometimes you can even let it air dry in a warm room. Printing on dark garments is also possible with R2O inks. Because it's more of a transparent ink, it doesn't look good if printed directly onto a dark garment, but you can use the opaque white or discharge underbase as an underbase and then overprint the color on top of it. So right here we have the opaque white. We're going to do one pass down for the underbase. That gives us a nice white underbase right there. And then we'll do the overprint in color. For this print we got our white underbase all the way ready down, and we're going to go with a nice pink on top of that. So we flash the underbase, not all the way cured but still sticky. Do 2 passes here, make sure the screen's cleared all the way out, flood it. We have a nice pink on a black shirt. Ryonet's R2O water-based inks are an easy way to step into water-based screen printing for any screen printer. They work great on light garments as you see here, nice soft hand touch and feel, awesome on poster paper as long as it's uncoated, and it can even work on dark garments with a discharge, opaque, or a discharge white underbase. Check out more information on these water-based inks available on our website. Thanks for watching, screen printers.